Hey guys, this is Cam for 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and hopefully this isn't the last time I'm saying this. But back at it again for an episode review of My Dress Up Darling. As we get the season finale of season 1 for My Dress Up Darling. I've said it time and time again on this channel the last couple of weeks. I'm holding hope that Cloverworks Studios greenlights a season 2 of My Dress Up Darling. This show was phenomenal. One of the best rom-coms I have watched in my life, personally. And I definitely want to see more. I need a season 2 confirmation, like within the hour, if not first thing in the morning on Sunday. Because I'm very tempted to go read the manga to see what the heck is going to happen next. But for just pure speculation, I want to hope and pray that we get a season 2. But this was the season finale of season 1 of My Dress Up Darling, and what an ending, man! What an ending. Another episode where it just focuses on the relationship between Gojo and Kitagawa, and how much these two characters, realize how much each of them mean to each other. You get the moment at the festival when Gojo's looking at, the fireworks and everything, and he's just reflecting on life. And then you have the moment at the end of the episode, the post-credit scene of the episode, where, Kitagawa values Gojo being in her life so much, willingly to stay up on the phone just to make sure, she is okay and she isn't scared. I actually thought the direction they were going to go in was he was going to go over to her place and he was just going to sleep over there for the night, and stuff like that. But this was a very good episode, a very good ending to the season. Just from the standpoint, you have it to where it's looked like something big is happening, because she's technically like, help me on this, but it's just her but asking for help on the homework and stuff like that. And then the one thing we also see at the start too is Gojo's looking at these fireworks in the distance and everything, and we do find out actually Kitagawa was supposed to go to a festival, but her dad bailed on her and stuff like that. Again, I don't know why she just didn't ask Gojo if he wanted to go, but okay. But they end up doing some homework and stuff like that, summer homework, and that's what he was helping her out. They end up going to school because she left on her homework items, her math items at the school. End up having this very funny scene of them going to the pool and everything. But Kitagawa's like, I want to take a nice little dip, and then she literally falls into the pool and doesn't respond for like 10 seconds, and Gojo's like, Kitagawa-san? Kitagawa-san? I'm like, dude, jump in the damn pool. And we find out, at first I thought she was gonna come out and be like, oh, fooled you there. But no, we later find out after Gojo literally drags her out of the pool, she can't swim at all, which I found was very hilarious and everything. And that whole thing was funny. They had a nice little discussion and about going to the beach and just her not swimming, but she had good times and good memories of going to the beach and everything. And I loved how Gojo's like, well, as long as you're not going to the beach and going to the water, you'll drown, so I won't be there to help you all the time. And she's like, oh yeah, of course. I'm like, my guy Gojo, can't you just teach her how to swim if you can swim yourself? So yeah, that was a nice little scene there. And you get the scene where it kind of leads into the fact, like, what is it? She brings up the fact like, oh, you wanted to go to the festival, because Gojo's like, yeah, I see the festivals in the distance, but I never go to them and stuff like that because I don't have anybody to go with. And obviously Kitagawa's like, hey, there's a festival coming up, we can go together. And obviously Gojo's like, well, you're gonna have to get your homework done. You do know that. And she's like, yeah, I know. But they end up going. Gojo actually wears the outfit he bought, I believe, 2 weeks ago when they went shopping. And everything. It's like his new like everyday clothes and stuff like that. And then obviously we see Kitagawa in a yukata, and my goodness. Can I? Oh boy. See, you're down bad when you're simping for this chick. And she's obviously very attractive, very cute, but mind you, might I say this was probably the best like design I've seen of Kitagawa. For some reason, I fell in love with her yukata design. She looked stunningly cute, and obviously Gojo picked it up. He was like, "Oh my gosh!" And it led to a funny scene where she's like, "Oh, you like, me showing off my neck and everything?" And he's like, yeah. And she obviously like, "Oh, so he's into that." I'm like, okay, that is funny. You get a funny comedic scene where, they're going through the festival and everything. And she's literally buying all these different foods. And Gojo's like, Kitagawa, where are you at? And you see she's already at the next, like, food stand. I'm like, this girl does not. I'm like, Gojo, you got to tell her, I'm like, bruh, we can't eat all this food. And it's funny because this dude's literally walking with bags full of food. And he's just like, I'm not going to do anything with this food. Why did I buy all this food? But then they get ready to go see the fireworks. And this scene was, look, props to Cloverworks Studio. They made this scene look good and like really good. Honestly, I might say, dare I say, this might be the best like fireworks festival episode I've ever seen in any anime period. For some reason, Cloverworks put a lot of their animation into this, just from like the overhead camera of how they was rotating as Gojo and Kitagawa were looking up at the sky when the fireworks were going off. Something about it, Cloverworks did something like, we want to make this scene hit so hard, make it hit so dang memorable. And then you get this one scene where Gojo's just looking and he's kind of just reflecting on his life, and he's like, I can smell the smoke, I can smell the gunpowder coming from the fireworks. I've never felt this or smelt this or had this feeling before, because we know Gojo, he's kind of been really kind of a shut-in. He never interacted with people, never made any friends. He just made his Hina dolls, and he would just see the fireworks off in the distance. Like he said, like, I just would hear the bangs and stuff like that of the fireworks, and I just see them in the distance. But it's like, for the first time, I'm actually here up close with somebody, with the fireworks, with somebody who I care a lot about, who I see as my friend. And I think it's kind of just Gojo kind of reflecting on everything that, that's come to. And we even get to the scene later on, after this whole scene, he looks at Kitagawa. Kitagawa makes this nice, cute, adorable looking face, which originally was going to be the thumbnail until I saw the post-credit scene picture. And then I'm like, no, screw that image. That image is the thumbnail, which you obviously saw, and everything. It turns into the nice scene where she looks at him, and then she makes it completely funny because she shows her blue tongue because she was eating the shaved ice. And Gojo's like, what the hell, man? What's wrong with your tongue? She's like, oh, I just only ate the thing, but my blue tongue, and she kept showing it and stuff like that. But again, you get another nice reflection moment of Gojo, because what happens is Kitagawa was, got some bruises on her feet because she was wearing her flip-flops or her sandals kind of aggressively, and it's kind of affected her. So Gojo's carrying her on her back, which I think again is so sweet. He still gets, plus she's like, hey, please don't move around a lot and everything, and stuff like that. And hey, at least she wasn't wearing her school outfit like in Nagatoro, where the senpai was where Nagatoro's senpai, the main male character of that series, was carrying Nagatoro on her back, but he kind of, to readjust himself, and accidentally touched a little bit of Nagatoro's cheeks. But anyways, he's carrying her on her back, and Kitagawa was just like, man, this this summer vacation was so fun and everything. I wanted to do so much and stuff like that, and I had so much fun this entire, time and everything. And obviously Gojo, this is more a reflection for Gojo, and he's just reflecting just on how far he's come since the start of this season. are the fact that, he realizes this entire year, he's really like been truly blessed to meet somebody in his life that is actually there for him when he needs him, when he needs somebody to be there, and somebody that is willing to spend time with him. And I think he's reflecting on the standpoint, the fact that I was a shut-in probably about a year ago, and now I'm friends with this very attractive girl. I'm friends with somebody at least who I talk to and I see every day. And I'm really happy because she's always there and she's always the bright spot of my day. And I thought that was nice and sweet. And it really is kind of a reflection because typically, in your life, whether it's just in your romantic life, if you meet that person or just a good friend, typically when you meet that person, that's always going to have your back, always going to be there for you and at your lowest, and you're going to be there for them. That's when you have somebody that is an integral, important figure in your life. And the fact that I loved how he just reflected on his life through all the cosplay experiences he had with Kitagawa. He realized, like, she truly does care about me. She isn't like those girls, those other typical popular girls that would probably just say, do this one thing and then, hey, catch you around and stuff like that. So, yeah. And he's obviously like, yeah, this was a great year. I can't wait for next year. And I want to have a lot of fun next year too. So that's the whole thing there. You get the ending there. But obviously you get a post-credit scene. And earlier in the episode, they watched a scary movie, which Kitagawa ended up being scared of, even though she said she was not going to be scared. She ended up getting scared. I thought it was going to lead into a scene where she would just be all over Gojo, say, please protect me, Gojo, and stuff like that. But in a way, she watched the sequel to the scary movie. She calls Gojo, and Gojo's like, hey, is there something going on? And she's like, listen, I need you to stay on the phone with me because I'm afraid that something's going to come out and get me. Because I watched this movie and the scary movie, and Gojo's like, okay, sure, but just to let you know. And the nice thing is, Kitagawa's like, I don't care if you doze off eventually. I just need to talk to you and stay on the line. So you get this scene after some time has passed. During their talk on the phone, Gojo's kind of dozing off a bit, and obviously Kitagawa was just talking like, I had a really lot of fun this year and stuff like that, and I can't wait to do more cosplays with you and stuff like that. And Gojo on the phone is like, yeah, I had a lot of fun with you too, and stuff like that. But he's saying this like as he's falling asleep, and it gets to a point he actually does fall asleep, and he's knocked out. And then Kitagawa is just looking at her phone, and you get this wonderful overhead shot where you have one side, the left side, Gojo is asleep, and then the other side is of Kitagawa, and Kitagawa says, I love you, Gojo. So she finally confesses that she's in love with Gojo, but Gojo's asleep. And it's funny because she's like, oh, please. Why did I say that? He's asleep. I'm so stupid. And stuff like that. And, she says, well, I'll see you later then. I'll see you tomorrow. And she gives a nice little smile, and I thought that was sweet and adorable because to her, she truly met this guy that, essentially did a lot. In some cases, I don't know how I would say this in a girl's perspective, but the fact that one guy would do this much for one girl, again, like I said, that goes to show you that these two characters are meant to be together. It was sweet, adorable, cute. I loved that ending scene. And, the whole thing of Kitagawa saying, well, see you later, I guess you can interpret it as a fourth wall breaking moment, because some people might diagnose it or dissect the scene by saying, oh, you could say this is a potential season 2 confirmation when she says, I'll see you later. They never, at the end of the episode, they didn't confirm that, we're getting to season 2. So far, Kitagawa, I guess you can say, quote unquote, breaking the fourth wall, saying I'll see you later. You can say it maybe could be a potential confirmation of a season 2. There's no guarantees yet. Cloverworks Studios has to come out and say that they will be in the development for a season 2. And I really definitely do hope that a season 2 will be in development and will be announced, because this show is one of those shows that deserves to have another season because of how good it was. And yeah, but I enjoyed this episode. I really did. Now, my overall thoughts on the entire season of My Dress Up Darling as a whole, I honestly loved it. This has to be probably more than likely my favorite rom-com anime I've seen. And the only thing that I can say could come to a close, maybe defeating of it, is Horimiya. Horimiya was wonderful too. It was just as good as My Dress Up Darling. Honestly, I don't know where I would rank those shows in my opinion. Those are my 2 top favorite rom-coms. I watched both of those shows. I'm in love with those shows. And I was kind of late to the whole My Dress Up Darling party. I found, I just heard after like the first episode, people were like, oh, if you're asleep, don't sleep on My Dress Up Darling. You have to check this out. My Dress Up Darling is really freaking good. So I ended up watching, the first episode of My Dress Up Darling. I think I watched it like a week after it first aired, a few days after it first aired, and then I ended up making my review on it. And, from the first episode on, I just enjoyed the premise of this show because I felt it was so good. It was so heartwarming, so endearing, of just the uniqueness of 2 characters that have a passion for something. Gojo loves making Hina dolls. Kitagawa loves doing cosplays. And, the thing is, it's 2 unique, things, for people to do that they probably don't want to bring them to public. Like we saw with Gojo's backstory, the one little girl said, like, you're into girl, you're into dolls. That's a girl's thing. You need to grow up. You're a boy. And stuff like that. And, Kitagawa being that person to open the doors open for Gojo to be like, hey, there's a whole lot more of this world you can experience and see, and also giving him the lessons and telling him, hey, dude, you're a pretty cool dude. If you like what you like, wear it with pride. I don't really care if you like Hina dolls. I think you're a great guy. And, I'm not going to see you any less if you like Hina dolls or dolls in general. And stuff like that, because we saw the first episode, she was talking to her friends. The one guy who was trying to hit on her was like, oh, you like anime? Oh, God. And she was like, you can kick rocks, loser. And we saw how Kitagawa molded Gojo to be the person he is today, just from the standpoint of kind of being the person to step up for himself. And I definitely did like both these characters. Gojo was a great MC character that had his flusteredness whenever Kitagawa would do these sexual acts on him, but at the same time, a character that actually grew and became more comfortable, as the season progressed compared to, early in the season. Like we see this episode, he still gets flustered at stuff like that, but he isn't as flustered as he was like in say episode 2, where he could barely get Kitagawa's measurements. And Kitagawa, her development was great as a character, just from the standpoint, we kind of got the basis of her character and everything from the jump, but then you could see it as, she slowly but surely started to fall for Gojo and everything, and she started to then appreciate how much Gojo was there for her in her life, and it all culminates into a great series, a great show that I really definitely do hope gets a season 2. I definitely did like the last couple of episodes that strictly were focused on Gojo and Kitagawa. I thought they would find some way to bring in Shinju and Juju, but no, they didn't. They just strictly told the story from Gojo and Kitagawa's standpoint, and I was fine with that. But all in all, I definitely did love season 1 of My Dress Up Darling. This is an anime, especially with what's going on in the world right now. It's an anime that I always woke up to on Saturday mornings, just so happy to watch. And even after what happened in the world with, what's going on with the invasion and everything of the Ukraine, that Saturday after finding out, after that week of what's going on, watching that first episode, it made me reflect. I'm like, I can at least get my mind off something that's very big in the world. And it's one of those endearing shows of this season of anime where it's just like, you know, this is just greatness personified. And credit to Cloverworks Studios, man. I know they were doing another anime, the Akabai Sailor thing. I watched the first couple of episodes, but I never finished it. I gotta catch up with that because I did actually enjoy it. But credit to Cloverworks Studios, they did a really damn good job on My Dress Up Darling, where everybody on YouTube was talking so highly of it. And there wasn't one bad thing. Unless the over dramatic fan base of it saying, oh, it's just strictly a fan servicey show and stuff like that. But, you know, overall, this was a great show. I hope it gets a season 2. And I think it will. I think shows like this, if they get a lot of love, a lot of demand, it will get a season 2. And I think Cloverworks does know that this show's getting a lot of love. They clearly put a lot of time and effort into making this show work. And I think they're going to make a lot of good money from this show alone. But till an eventual season 2, this will be the last time we'll talk about My Dress Up Darling on the channel. But other than that, guys, if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on My Dress Up Darling episode 12, the season finale, as well as your entire thoughts on season 1 of My Dress Up Darling, as well as hit that subscribe button if you want to get more anime content. As well, I believe My Dress Up Darling is the last Winter of Anime 2022 anime I'm talking about. So look forward to next week when we finally get into the spring of anime 2022 content. There are some shows that I will definitely be talking about, some shows that I won't. I'll probably just watch on my own, like for example Data Live. I'm gonna probably watch that on my own time. I don't want to give my thoughts on it, but unless it's like super good, then maybe I will talk about it, but we'll see. But anyways, that's kind of it. So for me, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night watching this video. Until then, guys, hopefully you guys are staying safe out there, and see you guys on the next video. Peace.